Marisa powered on up the canyon, her heart racing with anticipation. So close. Soon she would have her daughter within her grasp. Nothing was going to stop her. Not this time. She will not fail again. She followed the shadowy form of the spectre to a clearing and stopped suddenly, almost missing it, only just catching it out the corner of her eye, the sleeping form of her child, lying with her back against a wall, her demon curled up in his ermine form by her side. Very quietly, Marisa knelt down and slowly moved closer to the sleeping Lyra. The girl looked so peaceful, so delicate, and so innocent. It was hard to believe how wild and feral the child was when awake. Marisa just stared at her daughter, taking in this moment. She acknowledges the station witch being consumed by the spectre, but she paid no heed to that. She only had eyes for her child. Slowly and carefully, Marisa reaches over and gently touches a strand of the girl's hair, moving it back from her face. Suddenly, Lyra's eyes flickered open and Pan stirred. It took a moment for her to register what was going on. As soon as the girl locked eyes with her, Marisa saw the fear in them. The woman took hold of the girl's chin and smiled.
"Hello, Lyra,"
she whispered softly. She felt the girl try to back away, but Marisa kept a firm hold.
"No,"
Lyra murmured. Marisa hushed her and brought her hand up to the girl's tangled, dirty hair. She noticed the way Lyra flinched at the touch.
"You're all right, dear,"
Marisa whispered still.
"There's nothing to be afraid of. I'm here to keep you safe."
Lyra shook her head, still desperately trying to back away. By this time, the golden monkey had gotten hold of Pan in a firm grip, but all the while was stroking his little ermine back.
"Come, Lyra. It's time to go home."
Marisa went on. Again, Lyra shook her head.
"No, I'm not going anywhere with you,"
she said stubbornly. Marisa sighed. She had feared it would be like this. If only she could convince Lyra to come with her willingly. But she could see the girl resented her too much for that to ever be an option. While her mind was away in thought, her grip on the girl slackened slightly, and Lyra managed to slip out of her mother's grasp. She ran over to where the witch was sitting. Marisa got up and followed the girl, at the same time retrieving a small bottle from her pocket, another little remedy she'd picked up at that store. She watched as her daughter stopped dead. She had obviously noticed the aftermath of the attack. Marisa then seized her chance while the girl was in shock and took hold of Lyra from behind, placing the little bottle to her mouth. She felt Lyra struggle furiously as she tried to cry out.
"Shh."
Marisa hushed, and she slowly lowered Lyra to the ground as the girl began to grow weaker. Once the bottle was empty, Marisa brought it away from Lyra's mouth. She held her child in her arms, something she had been longing to do ever since Lyra had run away from her in London, all that time ago. She watched as a few tears ran down the girl's face.
"You left me no other choice. Sleep now, darling. Sleep."
Marisa whispered, stroking Lyra's cheek, wiping away the tears. She began to rock the girl gently as Lyra slowly closed her eyes and her head fell against Marisa's body. Pan gave one last weak attempt to escape from the monkey's clutch before he too was fast asleep. Marisa smiled as she stared down at her beautiful sleeping daughter. She felt a flurry of both joy and relief that her child was finally safe within her arms. No one was ever going to take her away, not again. Slowly and carefully, she placed one of her daughter's arms around her neck. Then she stood up and began to half carry, half support the girl back down the canyon, the golden monkey cradling Pan in his arms. She had achieved her goal. Lyra was finally and completely hers.